The lifestyles of billionaires are damaging the environment, and not only that, it is made bigger by the investments they make. This is English with the News. In this short English lesson, we're going to learn 3 vocabulary words that are found in the news headline. And here is today's news. The lifestyles of billionaires are damaging to the environment. Luxury yachts, extravagant mansions, and private jets mean the super rich have a huge carbon footprint. This is made bigger by the investments they make. We all know about the damage being done to the environment by industries, households, belching cows, and the release of methane from permafrost. A new report highlights a source of CO2 emissions that few of us are aware of: billionaires. The British charity Oxfam has reported that the lavish lifestyle of the world's wealthiest creates significantly more CO2 than the average person. Now let's take a look at our first headline. This is from CNN.com. Headline reads, "Billionaires emit 1,000,000 times more greenhouse gases than the average person, study finds." Now let's take a look at our first word. First word is emit. Emit is a verb, and in this context, it means to produce something. To emit means something is producing and discharging, especially gas and radiation. In daily English, we can use this to talk about the dangers of businesses and factories because they emit a lot of carbon dioxide, and in turn, it will harm our shared environment. Or we can use it to talk about cars, like in this example. If I can, I'd rather ride my bike or walk if the distance isn't too far. Taking the public transportation, and especially driving, is bad for our environment because vehicles emit a lot of carbon dioxide. Here are some alternatives. We can say release. Cars release a lot of carbon dioxide. Or we can also say give off. Other ways you can use this is to make, that is for sound, and light. In daily English, you can use this to talk about your phone emitting blue light. Phones emit blue light that can disrupt your sleep. So it's better to put away your phone an hour or maybe 2 hours before bedtime so you'll have a restful sleep and you wake up rejuvenated. And before we proceed to the second headline, I wanted to take this moment to tell you how important it is to learn at least 2 to 3 words per day to really become fluent in English. As I've mentioned in my previous video, that the best way to expand and to learn new vocabulary word is to learn at least 2 to 5 new vocabulary every day and really digest and learn how to use them and understand how to use them. You will likely permanently remember these new words if you use them in actual conversation, rather than learning and memorizing 30 to 50 new words per day. Okay, now that's out of the way. Let's go to our second headline. And our second headline is from The Guardian. It reads, "Super rich's carbon investment emissions equivalent to whole of France." Now, the second word that we're going to learn today is super, and the super, as we all know, is an adjective. It means excellent. In this context, super here is used as a prefix. A prefix is a word or a letter placed before the word, and this means very or extremely. For example, super rich, which means very rich. Here are some other examples. We can say super beautiful. Wow, she's super beautiful. Super angry. Wow, he's super angry. You can also say super loaded. Loaded means rich. Super loaded means very rich. He has a lot of money. Now here's an alternative word that we can use. We can use mega. Mega means great, large in size. For example, mega mansion, mega cars, mega buildings, or mega rich. Now here is a slang or expression that's connected to this word. We can say super duper, which simply means very or extremely. Talking about a person, she is super duper friendly, which means she's just very, very friendly. Another example when talking about food, that pizza we had back in Italy was super duper delicious. We can also use this to talk about pain. Last week, I sprained my ankle. It was super duper painful. You can also use this as a response to someone asking you how you're doing. For example, how are you? And your response would be, oh, I'm super duper. And this is very common for kids. Now let's go to the third headline. Headline reads, single billionaire produces 1,000,000 times more emissions than average person. Oxfam. The third word we're going to learn today is emissions. Emission is used as a noun, and emission is the process of emitting something. Emission can also refer to something that has been emitted, especially gas or radiation. Now, here is a very common collocation. You can use the word emission with other words like carbon dioxide emission. For example, we need to change our cars every 10 years. That will lessen carbon emissions by 50%. Now, here is a list of adjectives that describe a decrease. We can say to lower carbon emissions, to reduce carbon emissions, and to bring down carbon emissions. Now, let's use this as an example. I personally do not want to buy a car because I work from home and I want to do my part to reduce carbon emissions. Or we can also say I want to do my part to reduce my carbon footprint. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me to learn some English. If you like video lessons like this, then subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to connect with me on all of my other social media accounts. I have my Instagram, and don't forget to join my private Facebook group. And that is it for today. I'll see you in the next one.